It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Oh.
Hey, let's go. Friday show. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, and the Fox local app if you're watching live. If you're watching on YouTube, hello, everybody. Part of the over 62,000 person community on this platform. Coming up on 63,000, actually. Look at that. Just less than 200 followers or subscribers away on YouTube. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you. And I want to thank our friends from Shake Shack.
Shake Shack, baby.
Shake Shack, when it comes to chicken sandwiches, I've got the sleeper. It's Shake Shack, Chicken Shack sandwich. Delicious. Try the Chicken Shack sandwich for free with a $10 purchase. Grab a shake and crispy crinkle fry, and Chicken Shack will be free. Just use the code Woodward in person, online, or download the Shake Shack app today. We have it right now.
Look at these fries.
This is a Shake Shack football, by the way. I know what you guys think I was just playing
And this
catch.
is a Shake Shack chicken sandwich for free with a $10 purchase. Just use the code Woodward.
See what we got going.
Look what I got.
What did you get?
I got these delicious fries.
Got the crinkle
I love a crinkle cut
Delicious.
fry and a chocolate shake.
Incredible.
Check
You
it
got
out,
chocolate
man.
shake? I've never been a chocolate shake guy. I'm vanilla or strawberry.
Well, you don't know.
How is it for you, Bray?
Seasoned well.
You know,
And
we
seasoned
keep
as
eating
well.
like this,
Sorry,
and we'll be looking like DJ Reader of the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
How about that, huh? The big man. Yesterday, it was announced during our show that DJ Reader is signing with the Detroit Lions, and Maz will come to you first for this with a mouthful of French fries.
Yes, sir.
This is exactly the player the Detroit Lions needed to acquire in the offseason free agency period, is it not?
It is, man. Hey, this is a guy that can give them what they missed last year in that playoff run. A guy that can get and stop
everybody.
and stuff
Perfect start.
the middle of that line to get Aiden Hutchinson and the rest of the guys loose. You got 2 new cornerbacks as well. Yesterday, he met the press down at Allen Park, and DJ told you what kind of guy he is. He says, I'm going to grind every day.
You know, I hold myself to a high standard as a person and as a player, and I know I'm going to get in there and grind every single day. And where that grind ends, I can deal with that. So, you know, I where it puts me, I can deal with that, and so I'm excited. I'm excited for the opportunity to go in there and really work and be ready for the beginning of the season.
I love it. It's a very good signing, and when my boys in the back, Easy, Spencer, and those guys start jumping around, the heavyweights, they got a heavyweight to be on that Lions line, it gets me going more. And I really, truly believe, as much as I complain, you know, I love this team. I love Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. They know what they're doing. They do. And the Lions added 4 terrific players to this roster, and it's going to work. They are winning the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah, look, I look at the way Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are picking players, the players that they're picking. Yeah, we wanted the Chris Jones splash. You wanted the Danielle Hunter splash. You wanted the Chris Wilkinson. Those things just aren't in the future for the Detroit Lions because they've done it their way. They've won their way. They didn't get to 12-5 last season, win the division, because they weren't capable of doing it. You go out and you get you get Davenport on that defensive line. You get a DJ Reader. Look at DJ Reader's production. Everybody's looking at the 1 sack. First of all, he's a run-stopping defensive tackle. Now, with that being said, if he were on this team last season, he would have the most quarterback pressures for any interior defensive lineman. He would have had the most. So you're looking at a talented player, a player that they paid some good amount of money to, and a player that Cincinnati really liked. They just worry about the injury history. Look, they're going after the right players, and I like the moves they're making.
Guys,
just a quick timeout.
We'll get back to the Lions in a minute. Breaking news right now, the University of Michigan basketball has posted on Twitter that they have relieved Juwan Howard of his duties. Juwan Howard has been fired. This is the.
What do you mean I'm fired?
This is the tweet from Michigan's men's basketball. Breaking news: U of M Director of Athletics Ward Manuel has announced that a leadership change would be made in basketball, with Juwan Howard not returning next season. Braylon, this absolutely had to happen. There is no way possible that you could have brought Juwan Howard back. Look, we love Juwan Howard. This is one of the dangers when an all-time great player for any team or organization comes back in a different capacity with that organization. It happened with Alan Trammell with the Tigers when he was the manager. It happened with Joe Dumars as the director of player personnel with the Pistons. It ended badly. Trammell ended badly. And this has ended badly as well with Juwan Howard. It doesn't take away anything that he did as a player. It doesn't take away anything that the Fab Five have done as a player. But as a coach, this thing went south quickly. To the point where, again, there is no Mays rage at the game anymore. People don't care about the program anymore.
Rage.
It fell. There's not even rage.
Right.
It's total apathy. It had to happen, Brad.
You can compartmentalize, and how you compartmentalize is, look, when he was a part of the Fab Five is the Fab Five is the best faction that ever existed. No need for a national championship with that team. The cult classic, what they did for basketball, what they did for the game, with it, style, fashion, the attitude. That is a separate thing from what Juwan Howard did. You're talking about somebody that helped create the Mays Rage, Maz, and what the Fab Five did, and now he's the same guy that's helped destroy it. You look at the records: 18-16 last year, 19-50 the year before that, 19-12 the year before that. Mediocrity at its best. Meanwhile, when Beeline left, we were averaging 26, 27 wins, getting to the Final Four. The championship game twice. Getting to the Final Four 4 times, and we're always in the Elite Eight. Now, there's no Mays race, but the hell with that. There's no effort. There's no heart. There's no passion by the players. The reason why that senior day looked like it did last Sunday is because there's no passion out of the seniors. Mm-hmm. Same thing that happened when the Lions went 0-16. The fans have to stand up. They have to show you what the product is. We can't keep buying into this BS and mediocrity. That's what they did in the 2008 with the Lions, and that's what you saw in Michigan this year. They lost 23 games. The most that this institution, this fine institution that I'm proud to be an alumni from, it's the most they've ever lost. Look, I love Juwan. Love him as a person. I love his wife. He's taught me many things in game and just mentoring. This is separate. Had to go.
John Sanderson, the guy that left, the strength and conditioning coach, signed on with Illinois yesterday. He made it official. So you think that was the final nail in the coffin?
No.
There was some stuff going on behind the scenes that.
You can, man, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan. You can cover anything up if you're winning.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they weren't winning.
No, when you lose at the rate in which Juwan Howard was losing, and what they win, 8 games?
9, I think.
That's it.
8 games? Yeah. What's the assistant's name?
Martelli.
Phil Martelli was the head coach for 3 of those wins. You know what I mean? So it's not like Juwan even won the 8 games. Yeah. Think about that in perspective. Now, okay, so good. So Ward Manuel did what he had to do now, up to this point. Yeah. What will he do moving forward now? Because my biggest criticism of Ward Manuel is he cannot hire a coach that is bigger than him. He cannot go out there and hire somebody that is somebody that will push back, overtake his aura over the program. Jim Harbaugh was bigger than the Block M to a certain extent. That's the reach. Maybe that's blasphemous.
Truth.
But
it's the truth.
Jim Harbaugh could do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And still
he surpassed
be fine.
Bo Schembechler in the little time he was here.
Is that coach out there in basketball? Is that guy out there in basketball?
I got a guy.
Hold on, Matt.
Okay.
Hold on, before that,
Please.
because I was waiting for you to finish. I'm always right there with you with the criticism of Ward Manuel, his tenure. I know Ward personally. Once again, I have to separate what I believe to be true and who my friend is. I've agreed with you lock and step, but I got to give you a little bit of pushback.
Please.
Here's the pushback. Who was the only guy that wanted to keep Jim Harbaugh when you and others were trying to fire him? After those 3 seasons in a row where he lost by 50, he lost by 40, he lost by 30 to Ohio State, and then the one year
he gets credit for that.
Okay.
He also emasculated him by cutting his salary.
First and foremost, answer the one thing first. Don't try to go to the next.
He gets credit for that.
If it wasn't for him, he would have never been the coach to cut his you-know-what off.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have won a national championship because he would have fired him much like everybody wanted. So I think sometimes you got to remember that. Like, it's just so much he dropped the ball with Jim Harbaugh and da-da-da. To an extent, he did, but he also is the one that kept Jim Harbaugh. With that being said, he fired Juwan Howard. He hired him. This is the first hire that he's fired. We all were asking for it, and he did. Got to give him some credit for that. I think we got to give him a little credit in those 2 situations, but to the most part.
I agree with you.
100%. We got to give him a little bit of credit because they could have kept him on. They could have said, hey, you know what? I hired him. Juwan will give you one last try. We'll see what he fired him. That's a tough thing to do.
There was nothing else he could have done.
It was nothing.
Him.
You're right.
Right.
He pulled the trigger though. So
I like Jerry Stackhouse.
Jerry got fired
too.
He's terrible.
Yeah.
He didn't have it.
He didn't have it there.
Yeah, Vanderbilt's a tough school.
He didn't have it there. He did win an NIT.
Ryan, let me ask you this question. I asked this on Monday, I believe.
I like Stack.
To T. Foss. I do too. I used to go over his house when I was in Michigan. Man, he stayed off Orchard Lake. The way Michigan is set up, the way in which Harbaugh and the football program was so dominant, and Harbaugh didn't necessarily utilize the NIL because he didn't have to. They were getting 3-star talent, 4-star talent. This talent wanted to go to Michigan. They wanted to play for Harbaugh. So they didn't necessarily have to use the NIL like everybody else. So Michigan doesn't use the NIL. Is that going to be a problem for whoever you hire as a basketball coach?
Sure.
Because although football may not need it, basketball damn sure needs it. And I think that's going to be a problem in terms of getting a coach here because they understand Michigan does not really allow the NIL to work like everybody else does. How you going to get a player to come here? They already don't go to college. Now you mean to tell me there's no money in it too?
There is one guy I'd like. Look, and you know the one guy you look at the CBS desk and you see Jay Wright out. Jay Wright's not coming to Michigan. Number one, no,
he's got 2 titles.
Jay Wright is Nick Saban. Jay Wright is the college coach that no longer wants to deal in the NIL world.
And he got out quick.
Yeah, and he makes about $10 million. Talking about college basketball games on the desk for a couple of times a year, okay? So, but there's one phone call I would like to be made, and I know it's never going to be made. You ready?
I'm ready.
Nate Oates, Alabama.
Okay, he's done a good job down there.
I love the way Alabama plays basketball. They are up there in the top 15
Why would he leave?
Every year. Well, he was a coach at like Ecorse High School.
You know? So his beginnings are out here.
He's got, or River Rouge High School or something like that.
Nicely done.
They pulled him from like River Rouge.
Nicely done.
Alabama.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had Coach Brandon Miller. You know, he's coached top-end talent.
Like Avery Johnson brought him on staff, maybe?
Yeah,
I think
something like that. You know what I mean? So that's one name that I'll put out there. But I'll be interested to see what type of coach you hire.
I'll take Dickie V at this point.
Let me ask a question, and maybe it's a dumb question because, hey, Pete, boy, 2 points, man. It's a close game. Let me ask this. Maybe it's a dumb question. Oakland University, you see what Campy has done in his tenure at Oakland, how he's turned that program around. He's taken them from D2 to D1. He's made the tournament 4 times. I mean, I understand Oakland may be a better basketball team than Michigan today, but Michigan's program is far superior. Is that a move?
Is a bridge coach, if you don't get your guy, maybe. But he's like 70 years old. Campy's like 70 years old, too. You know what I mean?
This is true.
You're
right.
Either way, really interesting to kind of talk a little Michigan basketball as we're sitting here. Michigan State's playing right now. It's a 2-point game with a couple of seconds to go.
You got to tell him about Pete.
Well, I'm not putting Pete's business out there. I think Pete put his entire MGM account. I won't give you the figure on
he put winnings.
He
put some winnings on the game.
House money.
Purdue house money. Yeah, we'll see money line. So we'll see what happens there. But back to the Lions now, guys. And again, DJ Reader. It feels like the Lions had 2 deficiencies this offseason, 2 major glaring deficiencies this offseason. Defensive back, defensive line. They addressed those 2 areas. with DJ Reader for sure, and Marcus Davenport. We'll see what happens with him. And then you got the two defensive backs, Amik Robertson and Carlton Davis III. So moving forward now, Braylon, when it comes to the draft, I think you do have – there is no perfect roster in the NFL, but you do have now the ability with your free agent signees to just go out there and take the best player available. You do not have to reach to satisfy a position of need. You don't have to do that. If the best player is an offensive lineman, take him. If the best player is a wide receiver, take him. If the best player is a defensive back, take him, and so forth. You can now do that because you've satisfied a lot of your quote-unquote needs in free agency.
When Dave Burkett's first mock draft came out, we had him on last week, and Ryan, one of the biggest questions that – well, not one of the questions, but one of the things that you were excited about, you said that they had the Lions taking an offensive tackle. And you were excited. I said, heck no. Like, I'm not excited about an offensive tackle. Maz and I had the same conversation. We weren't excited about an offensive tackle. Good job over there, Pete. We weren't excited about an offensive tackle because that we need defensive players. We needed to be a defensive interior lineman. We needed to be a DB. We need to be a Mike linebacker if it's the right player at that position. That's what we were. Fast forward to a week and a half later, you're sitting at the additions that you made to this team, players that can actually play the game. I watched more film on Amik Robertson. Boy can play. The boy can flat out play. He's tough. He plays bigger than he is. Like Matt said, he's a dog. You add Carlton Davis. You're shoring up what you did bad last year, what got you eventually knocked out of the playoffs to the San Francisco 49ers. Now you've put yourself in a position. Is it a DB we want to draft? I'm cool with that. Is it an offensive tackle that we want to draft to shore up that offensive line because you know contracts are coming up and guys are getting old? I'm cool with that. Is it a wide receiver? Ryan Ermanni, because they haven't picked up a wide receiver. Is it a wide receiver? I'm cool with that if the wide receiver is right at the 29th pick or whatever they're going to do. So right now I think you're right. They have put themselves in a situation to where fans, we need to say, oh, you know what? Okay. Good with whatever decision they go in. They can go offensive tackle, wide receiver, guard, DB, and it'll be the right move.
That defensive line now pairing up first with Aleem McNeil is about as nasty a combo as you will find in the NFL. Here's what DJ Reader had to say on pairing up with Aleem McNeil.
Man, I'm super excited. He's a young player who has a lot of talent. He's also another Carolina guy. I'm super happy about that. I love guys from Carolina. I feel like we got the best athletes in the country. You can quote that one. We got the best athletes in the country. But I'm excited to pair with him. See the things that he does well. I watch him all the time on film, so I'm excited to just get around him and just be around and be able to pick his brain about what he likes about the position. Every guy's got different things they enjoy about playing D tackle. I got my own things that I enjoy, so I want to just talk to him about it and just be able to pick his brain, see what he's got going on, and see what our future holds.
All right, so Reader and McNeil. How about Reader and Aiden Hutchinson? Here's what DJ Reader had to say about number 97.
Honestly, I think Aiden's one of the most unique edge rushers we have in the league right now. I mean, you don't have too many people that size who can bend the edge like he can, who's pretty relentless in the rush like he is. He gets hot. He's like a hot shooter. You watch him during the playoffs, when he gets hot, or those games when he has multiple sacks or catches a pick or those things, he gets hot and he's feeling it. You can tell he's feeling it. And that's always fun to play beside. When you find a player who gets hot like that and you can help push the pocket, maybe things a little bit easier for him. That way he can really run the edge. You don't got to counter inside, those things. But when you got a guy like that who's got pretty much every move in his bag and can do whatever, you just try to be able to be a good teammate, man. I'm just trying to be there and motivate him. I know how hot he gets. I want to be on that sideline giving him speed. When he is hot, I want to be hyping him up, be his biggest cheerleader on the sideline. And when he isn't, I want to get him in that zone. So it's fun. It'll be fun to be able to tap into that young talent.
You look at these three now when you talk about Reader, McNeil, Aiden Hutchinson, and whoever else is going to be on the other side of whether it's Davenport, whether it's Pascal, whether it's whoever. Houston. This is a very formidable defensive front, Braylon, and everything starts up front. And those guys up front make everybody on those second and third level better.
Yeah, 100%, man. You're talking about guys that can not only stop the run, but guys that can rush the passer as well. Davenport as well as, DJ Reader. It's going to be good to see, man. Once you shore up that defensive line, now the secondary gets to play better. And, oh, by the way, you added Mika Robinson and Carlton Davis III. Carlton Davis said it to us. He's a number 1 DB. CB1, in fact, is exactly what he said. They're looking fun. They're looking exciting. You put Lee McNeil next to Mika Robertson. Now you know what happens, Ryan? Remember all those double and triple teams that Aiden Hutchinson saw? He couldn't get off because a lot of games where he's fighting for his life. It seemed like that. Now he's got one-on-ones at times. You know what Aiden Hutchinson can do to a one-on-one? He gets to the quarterback. So the more that you can get Aiden Hutchinson one-on-one, and you stole my thunder, Maz. Also, Justin Houston's coming back. You hit the nail on the head. What is he going to be? Because we saw him 2 years ago. He was electric for those 9 games. So as much as we want the big splash player, you know, you wanted Chris Jones. Well, you got Davenport as well as DJ Reader. You wanted L'Jarius Sneed. Well, you got Carlton Davis and you got Amika Roberts. They're building through depth. Because remember what hurt the Lions at the end of last year and in the games they lost? It was injuries. It was Frank Ragnow being out, Jonah Jackson being out, insert moving the offensive line around this way. Good job by you, Pete. Also, it's the secondary. C.J. Gardner-Johnson gets hurt. Cam Sutton has a tweak. Guys are injured. That's what hurt the Lions last year. Now you're shoring up the depth. And like you said, Ryan, you still got the draft coming.
If you look at the division as well, what's one of the things, Braylon, we would do these little 2-minute pieces for the Fox
that division is heating up, man. The Bears made another move today.
Absolutely, but let me start here.
Okay.
Every single week, what do we talk about? Lions run defense,
100%.
essentially, and how they weren't giving up 100-yard rushers. They would stop the run. Okay. The Vikings added Aaron Jones. The Bears added DeAndre Swift.
Green Bay.
The Packers added Josh Jacobs. DJ Reader feels like a signing directly to stop the run within the division. If you want to broaden it out, even to the NFC, the Eagles added Saquon Barkley, and the 49ers have Christian McCaffrey. That one signing stops all of those teams from doing what conceivably would be a strength for them, and that's to run the football. And if you can stop the run, Braylon, which seemingly this team will be able to do, man, you got a really good shot to win that particular game.
100%. Like, what's happening is Brad Holmes is playing chess because the other teams in our division, you know what they realize? The way to beat the Lions is to what? Is to be able to run the football. You can run the football against the Lions. Now you can open up your offense. Now you can pass a little bit more. So that's what they know. So they went and got the running backs. To your point, Ryan, what did Brad Holmes do? That's okay. Bishop to R7. He moved another chess piece. He gets Amika Roberts. You get you get DJ Reader. You get Davenport. Now, even Lee McNeil doesn't get double teamed so much in the middle. Everybody is going to have to face one-on-ones. They're licking their chops. Like that defensive line now. You forgot about Benito Jones is another guy.
He's gone.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Signed with the Dolphins
players
today.
mess up too. But at the end of the day, you're forcing one-on-ones. Once you get one-on-ones, you're getting quarterback pressures. Quarterback pressures leads to easy interceptions by your secondary because you make their job easier. And, oh, by the way, if a team finds a scheme and they go after your offensive line, well, now you got cornerbacks that can play the game. So now they make it easier for the defensive lineman to get those sacks after the 4-second mark. So I like the moves they're making, and they still have the draft.
Doesn't DJ Reader sound like a Lion already? They bring these guys in that they bring their guys in. This is one of their kind of guys. And as much as I wanted to go out and get Danielle Hunter and get this guy and get that guy, maybe those guys weren't Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes guys. They do their homework. They do their shopping. And how about yesterday? He's in the building, and all of a sudden, he don't leave, and he's doing a press conference.
Right.
They did it all in one freaking day.
Because they knew.
Yeah.
Because they knew. Just like you guys have been saying, you get in that building, you're not leaving. Mm-hmm. Like Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are going to
they want you.
They're going to put the full court pressure on you. Like, Ryan, this is more generated towards you. All companies that are successful over time, you're talking 120, 125 years, the interview process for them, they're hiring same like-minded individuals. They're hiring, whether it's Goldman Sachs, whether it's J.P. Morgan, they're hiring people that fit into that model that they know they're a sustained success. It's the same thing that Brad Holmes is essentially doing. He doesn't care about your stats. He doesn't care about what school you went to. Are you going to be able to come to this program and fit in and add value? That's amazing to watch. Like from the Detroit Lions past to the last 3 years and watching the moves and how they're being calculated, He can write a book on the moves that he's making. You'll see more GMs start to try to do like Brad Holmes, I promise you.
Khalil Dorsey also signed. It's a good special team guy, another cornerback. And just to bring up, he just said what this Lions staff has done in the last 3 years. Aaron Donald retired today, and we'll talk about that.
It's a hell of a
But
legacy.
when he was available, and I remember I was with the Drew and Mike show at that time, and the Free Press went around and they asked everybody who you should draft. And the Drew and Mike show all said, you got to draft Aaron Donald. And what happened? They drafted Eric Ebron. And the quote back then, as it got out from the Lions Brain Trust, was, he's too small for the position we want to put him in. What are we going to do with a small guy like that? That was the old Lions. Thank God that era's over. It's over. Thank God, and congratulations to Aaron Donald.
Absolutely, Maz.
Hell of a career. You talk, man. I'm still mad to this day, and you guys know I bring it up every once in a while. I'm mad at my Super Bowl MVP pick. Mm-hmm. I picked Aaron Donald.
He was.
It was plus 900 or something.
Yeah.
I bet $1,000 on it. Bet $1,000 because I knew he was going to be MVP. Like, I knew he was going to MVP.
He
I knew
dominated.
he was going to directly affect the game. And he did. And they chose that doggone Cooper Kupp. I'm still mad, but hell of a career by him. I remember sitting here arguing with you on who's better, Lawrence Taylor.
Well,
Aaron
LT.
Donald, obviously it's an easy answer. It's Lawrence Taylor, the best defensive player of all time, maybe the best NFL player of all time. But Aaron Donald,
Thank you.
100%, Matt, you deserve that. Aaron Donald in a 10-year career, man, 10-year span, he's just dominant.
Fantastic.
Like, he's one of those rare players that comes along. I remember playing against Terrell Suggs. I got drafted the year after T-Sizzle. Like, they're just something, they're rare. Like, guys like that play the game so physical and last this long, man, he's a hell of a player. I wish I could have played against him.
He gets to go in with Jason Kelsey to Canton together. Well, that'll be a nice class.
Best defensive player in the last decade for sure, right?
Easy.
I'd say 20 years.
And
20
Penei Sewell
years,
stepped
yeah.
up to him, which I still love.
That's when we knew Penei was going to
still
be. That's
love
when Penei
that
arrived.
play.
That's
He was
when
a rookie.
Penei arrived.
He was a rookie.
But still, that's when you knew
Yeah.
he wasn't to be messed around with, if you get my drift.
Yep.
No doubt. And I'd like to continue to talk about Aaron Donald for a little bit, too,
Let's
because
do it.
one of the things we're seeing in this league is Aaron Donald's a young man. He's 32 years old, man. That is, I think, and he's still the best defensive tackle in the game. So just that decision, what goes into that decision to retire at the age of 32 years old when you are still the best player at that position? I want to focus on that next, and we'll look ahead.
I got a great answer.
But first, a message from Pete. Pete, what do we got?
Wake Up Woodward. And also, while I'm doing Wake Up Woodward, I'm going to enjoy my wonderful Shake Shack Shake. Woodward Sports has a new morning show. Start your day with Wake Up Woodward Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. live right here on Woodward Sports. Join Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB, and KG every morning as they cover all of Detroit's sports talk, banter, and live fan interaction. All on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Hey, Maz, can you do me a favor, my friend? Can you tell everybody about Jack Labrador?
I can, of course. I got it right here. My handy Jack Labrador Champions deck. Yours for only $20 at jacklabrador.gg. Just click on that code above my head. It will tell you how to play this game. It's a new way to play rock, paper, scissors. 2 new symbols and a franchise-changing 3-point play. 3 other games in this one. The Motor City Showdown. Spell my name in pink slip. You can play it from ages 8 and up, 2 players or more. And it's just a lot of fun. You can go anywhere with this thing, and it's a great gift. Great stocking stuffer for the holidays. And, of course, always a great birthday gift. Give your friend and your loved ones a game. jacklabrador.gg.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for 2 things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Winning is a habit. So is listening daily to Woodward Sports. We're glad you're a winner, and thanks for listening.
Hey guys, it's Seafood Fest. It's back at Big Boys. Catch it while you can. Dive into the new fish and chips, the Parmesan crusted cod, and a Big Boy must. They have that new mango iced tea, which goes great with the ultimate compliment, the popcorn shrimp, the shrimp Alfredo, and the shrimp stir fry. Every day is a fish fry at Big Boy, especially tonight. It's a Friday night. It's an all-you-can-eat seafood buffet right now at your local Big Boy.
Hey guys, let me tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. They offer the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. They are located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. And, of course, if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been on Michigan Avenue for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want, all GM brands, under one umbrella. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Together, let's drive.
Let's drive, baby.
Funny story. Technology is too good. Like, too good, and almost to the too good where it's stupid, and it can get you in trouble. Ryan, I was on the way to Cheesecake Factory earlier. This is before work.
Man.
It's a little lunch. My
menu's too big for me.
It always agree with you. That's
it's like
why
a magazine.
That's why actually it is a magazine. The first 15 pages, but that's why I've been eating the same 4 things for the last 20 years: the chicken Madeira, side Caesar salad, the popcorn shrimp, and or the avocado club egg roast. So I'm locked in. But anyway, I'm following my girl. We're going to Cheesecake Factory. We meet up on Novi Road. We make the right to go inside 12 Oaks. I'm following her, right? I'm talking to Max on the phone. Me and Max, shout out to my boy Max, was good. Having a conversation, talking about catching some food after work. And right as we were going around Nordstrom's, don't you know, my call dropped in my car. My call dropped. I'm like, all right, well, maybe he just hung up abruptly. I talked to him after the show or see him later. Then once we parked, Brittany and I, she parked over here, I parked over here. We get out, we're walking. She was like, were you talking to Max? I was like, yeah. Apparently, because I've been connected to her car.
Oh, my God.
Happens to me every day with my kids.
Yes, because I'm connected to her car before. Like, it dropped my phone, picked up on hers. Can you imagine? Luckily, I'm a good boyfriend. I got no skeletons, so we good over here. Can you imagine if someone is talking some dirt or their wife, their husband? Like,
man.
I would sue. I would sue if some guy like, what?
You cannot connect to the phone.
Like that's
connect
crazy.
to the car.
I think it happens because GMC and Cadillac are the same company. They're the same umbrella, whatever, same OnStar service. But that was scary. I'm like,
damn.
She was like, were you talking to Max? Yeah. She said, well, I said hello. He said nothing. My boy Max knows the code.
He knows.
My boy knows the code. But that's crazy.
I'm gonna hang this phone up right now.
Hey, that's why you gotta hang with the right people.
Oh my gosh.
Happens to me every single day.
That's scary.
So annoying.
If my kid leaves the house, gets in the car to drive away, I'm doing my thing. I'm on the phone. I'm doing something.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, her music will come on, or my phone call will go to her car, and vice versa. Happens all the time.
That's not a good feature. You're gonna get somebody shot.
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna get somebody shot.
We'll get back to the news of the day in the NFL, and that is that Aaron Donald has announced his retirement from the Rams and from the NFL. 32 years old. Was due to make $31 million this year. Would have been the highest paid defensive lineman in the league this year. He restructured his contract a couple of days ago to help out the Rams salary cap situation. They wished him well. He wished them well. But here you go, Bray. It feels like they got an extra 2 years out of him, the Rams, because it feels like, and he made no secret of the fact that he wanted to retire 2 years ago. They got a couple of extra years out of him, but still at 32 years old, a very young man, still at 32 years old, the best defensive lineman in the league, still was due to make the top salary in his position next year, but he says, I've had enough. What do you make of that?
Career earnings, first 4 years in the NFL, $10 million. Insert next 6 years, $135 million. The last 2 years, he's made 31 and 32, so $63 million. You add all that up, what does that tell you? He's made over $200 million, $235, but then you do the net worth. They're making much more money than we ever made. So you can make these decisions. Aaron Donald's like, look, to sneeze at $31 million? Mm-hmm. Michael Jordan's last year in the NBA, he made $31 million. Right. Aaron Donald's sneezing at it because he's made over 200. He has endorsements out the you-know-what, and it's in L.A., and also he won the Super Bowl. But also, what could go wrong? Like, you see how some of these players are, like Bobby Wagner, they're begging to play for teams. Mm-hmm. Or Derrick Henry, who's a little younger, but he has to accept $8 million. You don't want to be one of those guys. You want to walk out on top like Jerome Bettis did, almost. Like, you basically want to call your shot. He looks good. He's still arguably the best defensive tackle in the game. He's making bread. He's got coin. He's got his health. He's got his wits, and he's got deals in place for the next part of his life. Luke Kuechly and Patrick Willis started setting the tone. Mm-hmm. They started letting you know, look, it took me 10 years. I got a Hall of Fame career. I've been to a Super Bowl or won a Super Bowl. I got my money, and now I'm in position to do other things. More power to him, because you don't want to end up like a guy that doesn't know when to retire. He's bouncing around from team to team. He's making $2 million.
Like Ezekiel Elliott?
Not looking the same. I mean, even Ndamukong Suh, to a certain extent. Now, he stole some Super Bowls. But he couldn't play like he used to. He was just a guy with 1 sack in 6 or 7 games.
And no one signed him this year.
I think to retire at the top of the game, man, my hat's off to him.
No doubt. And, Maz, you were saying, just to recap the story that you were talking about, the Lions brass at the time said he was too small.
He was too small. What are we going to do with a small guy like this, is what they said.
Unbelievable.
And it is what it is. Eric Ebron, we all know it didn't work out. It's not really his fault. They thought they were a tight end away from winning a Super Bowl. Remember, after
at least
2014,
a playoff game.
Yeah, well,
he wasn't that type of tight end. And to your point, it wasn't his fault. Like, they drafted him to be something that he wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But there was another player from the same school as Aaron Donald that was undersized again this year. They got drafted by Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You bet.
Keep your eye on
I like him very much.
Mm-hmm. Keep your eye. He got hurt early in the year, but when he came back, defense from Tampa, remember, they were the #1 ranked defense over the last 6 games of the season. Keep your eye on Kalijah Kancey.
Remember we had the Tampa guy on to talk about that?
Exactly.
He talked so glowingly about Kancey.
I thought Tampa was going to win.
Yeah.
I thought Detroit was going to still be stuck on the Rams win. I thought that defense was going to surprise. Hey, don't get me wrong. Like, they look good. Especially Mike Evans.
No doubt. Guys, back to the Lions now. Just want to play a little bit of sound for you guys that was collected earlier this week. Amik Robertson yesterday was in Detroit and had this to say about Detroit.
What's up, y'all? It's Amik Robertson checking in. Glad to be here. Glad y'all gave me the opportunity to help the team win, man. We're going to do great things. We got some great memories. Lions pride.
Can't you just tell you're going to like a guy?
I love him.
10 seconds. Can't you just tell you're going to like a guy?
I love him, and I loved the tape. Mm-hmm. I loved seeing what he did with the Raiders. Mm-hmm. He's a guy that don't take any nonsense. Uh-huh. That's another guy. Hey, you're small. Hey, shrimp, get the hell out of here. And he'll come and he'll put his helmet right underneath your chin.
Right.
Yeah, you're not surprised anymore because you're seeing the type of guys that Brad Holmes is consistently going after. I mean, you said that about Cam Sutton last year when we had him on the show. We said that about C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You said about David Montgomery. I still remember his face. He said, I don't care what I'm doing. I don't care if I'm getting water. I just want to play for the Lions. And you saw what he helped this team do. They're picking the right guys, man, and these guys can play. I watched him lock down Rashee Rice last season. Rashee Rice is one of the up-and-coming wide receivers in this league. He was #1 for Kansas City last year. He locked him up like he wasn't even there. This guy can play football.
Speaking of lockdown, Carlton Davis believes he is one. This is Carlton Davis on what he believes he brings to the Detroit Lions defense.
You about to get a lockdown corner. You about to be able to have one side just unavailable. That's what I do. I'm here to take out the number one receiver on any team. I'm here to deny the ball. I'm here to take the ball away.
So he's got no shortage of confidence, that young man, Carlton Davis III, coming over from Tampa for a third-round pick, the Lions' third-round pick, so pick number 92 in this April's draft. But nonetheless, he's coming out here. You might not think you were getting the number one corner when you acquired him, but he says, yes, you are.
He's definitely a number one corner. I think his give-up rate last year was like 79% or something like that. When you get those type of numbers, you are a shutdown corner. I mean, there's no such thing as a shutdown corner anymore, but you're looking for a corner that can cover somebody. You're looking for a corner that can give you an opportunity to get to the quarterback, and that's just what he does. Those long arms, you heard Jamar Chase talk about, those long arms, they keep wide receivers out of the comfort of running a clean route. Like when a wide receiver can't run a clean route because you impede him by throwing your hands out there, now the timing is off with the quarterback. Now you can't be in the right spot and where the quarterback's looking for you to be. Those long arms, they make a lot of difference when you're playing that position, the DB position.
Perhaps there's no player that the Lions signed this offseason that is as big of a risk/reward as Marcus Davenport, though. A couple of clips from him. Davenport talking about Dan Campbell and the idea of this motto of grit.
It wasn't like biting kneecaps, but, it was something along the lines of, we got grit. And, sadly, that's the message I took away. Like, grit, like, he was being serious.
So these two, again, were together in New Orleans when Davenport was a member of the Saints. And, of course, Dan Campbell was there. Aaron Glenn was there. So there's some familiarity, Braylon. And how far does that go in a league like the NFL where Davenport played for Aaron Glenn before, now he will play for him again?
You're always looking for familiarity, Ryan. Like, if you're a guy that's funny and you had a funny teammate and, that's the type of relationship where you had a funny coach, if that's who you are, you're trying to get back to that coach. You like a funny locker room. If you're a guy that's a serious guy and you've played with a coach that's serious, kind of fits your element or a team or a system or other players, you want that. He's seen Dan Campbell, and Dan Campbell's seen him. He knows what type of player he is. He knows he's a player that works hard. He knows he's a player that fits into a team system. That's why they like Davenport. Davenport knows that he's about that grit. He's about me going out there and giving everything that I have as a player, and then I can have some respect. And also the team aspect of it. You want to be around what you are. And he's a Dan Campbell type guy. That's why he plays for the Lions right now.
What about the fact that he's going to be teaming up perhaps with his former New Orleans Saints teammate Alex Anzalone as well? Here's his take on that.
Earlier, they're like, yeah, he's the alpha now. And I'm like, man, he's always been a good dude. I didn't expect nothing less. I'm just happy to see him running around making them plays, like getting excited. It's great to see someone who I don't want to say he might not have been featured as much, but, he was a baller in his own right, and he's only came here and stepped up his game. So, just seeing that, gives me hope.
And again, and I'll go back to what I said with Amik Robertson. You look at this guy for 5 seconds and you love him. You know what I mean? If he can just stay healthy, this is a guy that you could root for. I love this guy already, just watching him throughout the press conference.
The story with the Saints and Anzalone, I watched that video a few times, and I think when someone said to him, Anzalone's the guy here now.
Right.
He's like, really? Because let's face it, we all thought that of Alex Anzalone, right? We didn't think
he was on the verge of not making the team
correct.
In the Hard Knocks season.
In Hard Knocks. So Davenport's like, oh, he's come a long way, in other words, basically. And he has come a long way.
Yeah, 100%. And it's funny. I wrote down two things in terms of what he was talking. The first thing that he said was Anzalone's a good dude, which goes back to what we talk about, the type of guys that Brad Holmes are bringing in. They're not only team guys. They're not only guys that can have good input and good value. They're good guys, Ryan.
Right.
They're good guys. They're guys you want to be around. There's guys you want to be on your team. And definitely the thing about Anzalone, he talked about, he's like, basically, that's what I was going to say, man. I'm like, he basically was saying, like, he was a scrub.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, he was a scrub that just worked hard but was a good guy and that you wish good things for. He kept his head down. He kept working. We saw Anzalone in 2021. I told you I didn't like him.
Right.
I said, that baby Thor and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I said, he can't go side to side. He can't cover any tight ends. I didn't like him. He's worked hard. He's gotten better and better to the tune where you got Baldy breaking him down and giving him love. 100%. He's worked hard, and he's deserving of everything that comes his way.
Just speaking of Anzalone, that just shows you how you could change a person.
Yeah.
How you could give them confidence and love, and nurture them and bring them up. I don't mean to sound like I'm a mother, but in reality, Bray, if you go to a team and you have a coach that is on you all the time and really doesn't pay you any respect, and then you got another guy that you work for, like a Rex Ryan, that likes you, busts your chops once in a while, but puts you up on a pedestal, don't you play better for him?
Yeah, you absolutely do, and I'll break that down a little further. You got to admire the coaching position so much. I always tell you my story with Lloyd Carr going back. Look, there's 122 personalities. Now, maybe he's only paying attention to the 86 on scholarship, but that's 86 guys that he can't talk to the same exact way. One guy has no parents here. He's from California, so you got to be a little nicer to him. You got to put up with a little more of his BS. Another guy has 2 parents here. His father's a Michigan man. You could put him through a little bit more. A support system there. The way good coaches can pull it out of you. The way good coaches, they know when to ride you, pause. They know when to back off. They know when to, I got to push this button a little bit because I got to get this out of them. Great coaches can do that for you, and I think that's what this staff is. That's what this staff is with the Detroit Lions. You got all these former players who are basically coaching these players on how they wanted to be coached, how they wanted to be talked to. Steve Hyden is one of my former teammates. Hank Fraley is one of my former teammates. I mean, I know half this coaching staff. They are treating these players the way they wanted to be treated, and the ones that have had success, they're pushing them the way they know they can have success. You got to tip your hat off to Dan Campbell for hiring this staff and firing some guys to make it even better. Deshae Townsend and Greg Terrence coming in.
I love it.
Without having the benefit of the NFL draft yet, with where it stands right now, what are, and quarterback aside, what would you say position group? Give me the top 3 position groups on the Detroit Lions right now. What would you say they are?
The top 3
position groups.
Okay, I got you.
O-line.
Just right now, O-line.
O-line number 1.
Backfield.
Running back field number 2.
Tight end.
Defensive line.
I would say O-line with tight end is the same.
Okay.
Okay.
So O-line, running backs, and if you go to the defensive side,
I'd say D-line.
I'm with you 100%.
And that's exactly what I was getting at. I think this upgrade of the defensive line, this one player specifically in DJ Reader, makes everybody so much better. It makes a Lee McNeil better.
Hell yeah.
It makes Aiden Hutchinson better. It makes James Houston better. It makes Josh Paschal better. If Marcus Davenport is healthy, it makes him better.
He's going to be.
That one signing along the defensive line has taken that group from here on the team, strength chart, I'd say, and has brought it up here a couple of pegs. Pretty significant.
Does it improve the linebackers too?
It does 100% because it starts in the middle. It works outward. So you start with the defensive line. You shore that up. Now you're helping your linebackers, which is ultimately going to help your defensive backs as well. I remember Lamar Woodley's rookie year. Well, not rookie year. I remember his freshman year. First year he played. Didn't necessarily have a great defensive line in terms of the interior, but we had some good outside linebackers. Insert Alan Branch. Insert Gabe Watson. Lamar Woodley turned into the best outside linebacker in Big Ten and won. It was first team All-American by his junior year. That's because they shored up the interior linemen. They took away the double teams, the triple teams, and allowed him to play one-on-one. Allowing outside linebackers or edge rushers that have that type of skill to go one-on-one is insane. That's why you see guys like TJ Watt have 22.5 sacks. Who's he playing next to? Cameron Hayward.
Yeah.
Or Casey Hayward, excuse me. It's not Casey, but Cameron. I said it right his first name. Cameron Hayward, one of the best defensive interiors. You looking at inside and you got a guy, 9 times out of 10, that guy on the outside is eating Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead. You get a guy on the interior like that, makes Aiden's job so much easier.
I'm on a little bit of a list kick now, and I'm just kind of, just by the fact of this conversation, the Eagles got Saquon. I think what people have done within the division has been nice, but nothing. The Packers with Josh Jacobs, I think that was significant.
I think the Vikings with Aaron Jones.
That was it.
But it's very, very quietly very good.
But they're going to have a rookie quarterback. Chicago's going to have a rookie quarterback. So not that a rookie quarterback, and we've seen it with C.J. Stroud. I don't want to discount that. But you've got 2 teams in the division that are going to have a rookie quarterback. And that might be significant a year or 2 from now. But I think this year the Lions could handle a rookie quarterback. Maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but I would trust the Detroit Lions within the division to beat up a rookie quarterback a little bit. Maybe I'm totally wrong on that, but I would take Lions over Minnesota and Chicago right now based on those rookie quarterbacks.
I understand that. And look, I'm still with the Detroit Lions, okay? I'm with the Lions 100%. Don't not take Chicago serious. Look, I understand that. You say Caleb Williams. Look, Caleb Williams is supposed to be, and the key word is supposed to. He's supposed to be this, heir apparent, transcendent, generational talent, etc. If he's half of that, he's got 2 number ones in DJ Moore and Keenan Allen that can ball. Keenan Allen's one of my favorite wideouts in the game. When he's healthy, he's unstoppable. Now you mix it with DJ Moore, who's also unstoppable, and Cole Kmet and DeAndre Swift. If I'm the Chicago Bears, I'm leaning more towards offensive line in the draft.
All right, let me do this. Let me do
they're
this.
Serious.
Let me do
Ryan.
it this way. After the Eagles got Saquon, after Packers got Josh Jacobs, after what Chicago's done with the defensive side of the ball, 49ers really haven't done a ton. Rank your NFC teams for me right now, top 3 or 4.
Top 3 NFC or NFC North?
Just NFC. NFC. Biggest challenge. Lions have made some additions.
Lions won.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
49ers have gotten worse.
Okay.
In my opinion. Lions won.
I got it.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Green Bay too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Green Bay too.
I got Lions, San Fran, and Green Bay. That's
Lions,
my 3.
I got Lions, Green Bay. I really don't want to say San Fran, but I have to.
You have to.
For their track record. San Fran. But don't sleep. Don't sleep on the Rams. Don't sleep on the Rams is what I'm going to tell you. Rams are my number 4
They got
team.
worse today.
Rams are my number 4 team in the NFC. I promise you that. But Keenan Allen move and the Marquise Brown move are the 2 best moves I've seen next to DJ Reader.
Well, we can continue to talk about that right now if you
Who's
want to
your
go there.
3?
Who's my 3? I think the Lions are the best team in the NFC.
They are.
I think you've got to put Green Bay up there as well.
Yep.
And I would put Philadelphia up there.
Okay.
I think Philadelphia got significantly better with Saquon Barkley. They
got a sleeper.
Added a couple of defensive pieces too. I really like what Philadelphia's offseason has looked like.
They still got Nick Sirianni.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I don't like their hierarchy in the coaching staff.
Don't sleep on Dallas. Look, at the end of the day, we're just talking about the regular season anyway. Don't sleep on Dallas. Dallas has made some moves very quietly. He makes some moves very quietly.
They got some issues though, man. And
but
I think
they're always going to win 13
and
games.
I think I don't know what kind of impact it has in the room at all. I mean, Derrick Henry yesterday at his introductory press conference said that Jerry Jones didn't even give him a call. I think a lot of people were shocked by that.
But look at it from Jerry's, and I actually have to give Jerry some credit on this one. Remember how he overpaid Ezekiel Elliott, then kept Ezekiel Elliott, doubled down on Ezekiel Elliott. He watched firsthand how fast the running back position goes from sugar to the other word. And I think he was like, you know what? Nah. Because we just saw it with Ezekiel Elliott. And I think that's why he didn't take the chance on Derrick Henry. I could be wrong. But
and I think more people are like that than not, but that's the difference between a good general manager and Jerry Jones too. Is a good general manager can identify the player specific. Is this a good player or not? Or am I not going to sign this guy just because I've been burned by a similar situation in the past? If San Francisco was a little gun shy about acquiring Christian McCaffrey, it would have been the same exact situation. Christian McCaffrey is the MVP of the league, in my opinion. Or at least the MVP of the San Francisco 49ers because of the dynamic that he brings to that. And again,
if I knew Lamar Jackson would do that in the playoffs, then I would have voted for Christian McCaffrey.
Right, but again, Lamar Jackson's numbers, if you look at the numbers,
just okay.
They were Brock Purdy-esque.
Yeah.
They looked like Brock Purdy's numbers, aside from rushing touchdowns.
I'll take Brock Purdy.
I don't know about that.
Man, they did play head-to-head this year, in case you forgot.
You know what? We're going to see what Lamar Jackson is going to be able to do this year because there are no more excuses for Lamar Jackson. Yeah. You have Derrick Henry. You have Zay Flowers. You're going to add another wide receivers. You have Mark Andrews. You have a solid offensive line. You have a defense. You have an offensive coordinator. There are no more excuses for Lamar Jackson at all.
Got paid. Yeah, and he got paid.
Yeah.
Like Johnny Kemp Friday night.
Kenny Pickett went to the Eagles.
For a bag of nickels.
So they lost Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett?
Yeah.
Well, then.
They're cleaning house.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's an interesting one to me because I think Kenny Pickett could have learned, I wasn't a Kenny Pickett guy, but I think if Kenny Pickett sat behind Russ, was able to, you know, he's a young player. You never know.
Just like Geno Smith. Look,
you don't have the benefit of sitting down anymore. And I think that's what Ryan Leaf was talking about Caleb Williams. He was like, if Caleb Williams had the benefit to sit a year behind Justin Fields or something, he'd be a really good quarterback. People forget Patrick Mahomes sat for an entire year before he started.
People
forget
Zach Wilson.
Tom Brady sat for an entire year before he played.
Speaking of quarterbacks, you saw a team that made a move today. I don't know if you're going to bring it up, Ryan. I apologize if I'm stealing your thunder that you're going to tease. Vikings are definitely going up to get a quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do that next. We'll take a break. We'll talk about the NFC North. We'll go around the
Giants
NFL.
too.
But first, a message, Pete, from
Our new sponsor, please.
From
Shake
Shake
Shack.
Shack. All right. We had it at the top of the show. We'll do it again right now. Look, they've got the chicken sandwich. When it comes to chicken sandwiches, we've got a sleeper for you. It is the Shake Shack Chicken Shack sandwich. It is delicious. Look at Maz over there with the fries and everything like that.
A little shake.
Try the Chicken Shack sandwich for free with a $10 purchase. Grab a shake and crispy crinkle fry, and your Chicken Shack will be free. Just use the code Woodward. Spend $10, get a free chicken sandwich if you use the code Woodward. In person, online, or download the Shake Shack app today. Pete?
And while I am eating my crispy fries from Shake Shack, I'm going to do a little shopping on Shop Woodward Sports, baby. If you are tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch, it's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com and click shop.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
What's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Big Boy Seafood Fest is sailing in with a fresh catch of favorites. Dive into fish and chips, our new palm-crusted cod, perfectly fried clam shrimp platter, or a delicious fish sandwich. Try our new mango iced tea, the ultimate complement to our popcorn shrimp, our all-new fried pickles, shrimp alfredo, or shrimp stir-fry. Experience all the sea has to offer every Friday night with our all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. Every day is a fish fry, only at Big Boy.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
have some good news and some bad news. The bad news is insurance rates are going up across the board in Michigan. And the good news is Swiss Insurance is here to help. Right now, more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss will make sure your carrier does not slip in extra fees or raise deductibles. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today or visit SwissINS.com and tell them that Woodward Sports sent you. Right, guy?
Tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk into any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for your chance to win a suite for the NCAA tournament. You can walk into any of the...
Perfect bracket, you mean?
Perfect bracket, yeah. I don't have the sheet here, so I don't know.
Okay,
whatever it is.
We got the perfect bracket.
We got the perfect bracket. Come on in, scan the perfect bracket challenge, and of course, play Woodward... Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome. I'm very frustrated. Very frustrated. Go ahead, Braylon. Please.
We're just out here, man, you know what I'm saying, defending your local Y. You know
gotta have the sheet.
You got to be in shape. 315 right there, Ryan.
315?
Take it for a ride. You know what I'm saying? Nice clean rep, though.
Oh, my gosh, Braylon.
This is after the workout, too. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't need a spotter. Guy got me. You know what I'm saying?
315.
It's just light work. You know, light work. You never know how strong these criminals are gonna be. You feel me?
Right. I feel you. Braylon's just out here saving lives. No doubt about it. That's how you do it.
Hey man, you know what time it is.
That's
what
how
I
you
do.
do it.
You're ready for the combine, man.
You saw that.
Bring it back.
You saw that.
Well, what these wide receivers are making these days.
Well, I got a couple routes left.
You know.
I got a couple clean routes left too.
No, not that sheet. I don't have the read.
Oh,
yeah, I don't have the read. You're right. Thank you.
We on camera. Go sit down, Pete. Go sit down, Pete. Pete just does what he wants to do.
Who does Pete remind you of?
Fish?
Yes. Pete reminds me of Fish.
Pete Fish?
Pete reminds me of Fish a little bit. I love it.
I don't think Fish would have walked up.
Don't
there
insult Fish like that.
Exactly.
Right, I gotta. Sorry, it wasn't you, Pete. I gotta have the sheet. I don't have the sheet. Yeah.
It's not you. It's me.
It's
not you. It's me.
Hands out the
fantastic.
Always blaming Matt. In the division now, the Vikings. We're talking about that move. We're talking about the Bears, the moves they made. Look, that Minnesota Vikings move. You know they're going to get a quarterback.
Let's go, Maz. Break it down for us. What did the Vikings do today?
The Vikings made a trade with the Houston Texans. They swapped some picks. They picked up number 23. It's the second first-round pick for the Minnesota Vikings. So now they have two picks. They pick at 11. They pick at 23.
And they ain't going to pick it either.
You know what that means?
They're moving up to 3.
They're like the Jeffersons. They're moving on up.
They're moving up to 3. They're not going to move up to 6. They're going to get ahead of the New York Giants. The New England Patriots are in the most enviable position of any team in the NFL draft. You've got the Giants at 6.
Yep.
You've got Minnesota at 11.
You got the Raiders, too.
Both the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants will draft a quarterback. They will both try to get up to 3 to draft that quarterback. Period. Flat out. No doubt about it. And if New England is smart, and I don't know if they are or not, but they could really set themselves up for years to come to rebuild a roster that is devoid of any talent whatsoever.
You know what the latest rumor is? That they're going to get Justin Fields and pair him with Marvin Harrison.
I would not do that.
I would.
I would not do that. I would get 4 first-round picks. I would go back and I would get 2 first-round picks this year. I would get another one next year and a second. And I think you would be able to do that. If Minnesota has conviction on a number 3 quarterback, if the Giants have conviction on a quarterback, they've got to make that trade. Because Minnesota can get good quickly. The Giants could get good quickly if you get the right quarterback. Brian Daboll and Kevin O'Connell are 2 guys that if they get their hands on the quarterback that they want, they will be good quickly.
I think they've made some moves already, too. I think Minnesota's made some sleeper moves. The Van Ginkel move, I like that move, as well as Aaron Jones. We saw how good Aaron Jones was for the last 7 games last year. They've made some sneaky moves. But, Ryan, I agree. You know, you're talking about that number 3 pick. You can get a king's ransom for that, and you got 2 teams that have 2 first-round picks. They're definitely going to try to move up. This is like last year. Who was it that had 2 first-round picks? You said the draft doesn't start until they make a move. I can't remember who it was. But essentially, that's what you're
I
saying.
think it was Arizona or Houston.
It was
Houston.
It was Arizona and Houston.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Well, 100% it was
Yeah.
Houston. I think you're seeing the same thing this year with two franchises. They're both going to go out there and they're both going to try to fight. So you can pit these two against each other. That's another thing that you have at your disposal. I don't know if you said that, but
Z Digital in the chat says it perfectly. The Patriots are where the Bears were last year when they traded with Carolina. You look at what the Bears have done. The Bears are one draft away from being an upper echelon team in the NFC in 2 draft cycles.
Yeah.
In 2 draft cycles.
Yeah.
I just think even if you get Justin Fields and Marvin Harrison, you know what else you don't have?
Line.
You don't have anybody else.
So they got a defense.
Yeah,
they do.
You got a little bit of a defense.
You have a new coach. You have a new system.
If
they're going to be better than they've been in the past because they've been horrible.
They got Justin Fields, and they get Marvin Harrison. That means they'll still have another first-round pick. They get an offensive lineman. That's what they lack as well. They don't have an offensive line. If you're going to get Justin Fields, you need to protect him so that he can get the ball off to Marvin Harrison and whoever else. Ramondre Stevens in the backfield.
Don't forget the old Brock Bowers is out there. Someone's going to get him. Someone's going to get themselves an all-pro.
Yeah.
Right there. He is an all-pro the minute he starts.
If I'm the Rams, I'm getting Brock Bowers. If I'm the Rams, I'm going to get Brock Bowers.
Do the Rams have finally a first-round pick for the first time
19.
since Jared Goff?
19.
He ain't going to last.
No, he won't, but that's when you make moves and move up.
I could swear that Jared Goff is the last first-round pick of the L.A. Rams.
He's up there.
I would swear on that.
I think it's because Aaron Donald's older. Didn't know.
I would swear on it.
Yeah, I think whoever's older between the two, whoever's the oldest between those two is number one.
Sorry,
Aaron
guys.
Donald
I have to find this out. List of Rams first-round draft picks.
Yeah, it'd be.
You're going to be close.
Jared Goff is the last first-round draft choice of the LA
2013.
Rams. They did not have a pick in 2017. They did not have a pick in 2018. They did not have a pick in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, or 2023.
And they have a Super Bowl.
But watch this, though. I was just about to say that. Not only do they have a Super Bowl, they're back good again. I'm telling you, the Rams are the sleeper team.
They're well coached.
You called them last year, Ryan. I'm going to call them this year. And they did that in, 2 years after winning the Super Bowl? Sometimes I guess Les Snead was right. F them picks.
In 2016, they traded their 2017 pick so that they could trade up to get Jared Goff.
Gotcha.
In 2018, they traded the pick to New England to get Brandon Cooks. They traded to Atlanta for more picks in 2019. In 2020, 2021, they traded their picks for Jalen Ramsey. And then 2022, 2023, they traded their picks for Matthew Stafford.
And it all worked.
I was just about to say, just about to give them credit because everybody you just named went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks and them, they lost, but they still got to the Super Bowl.
Right.
They lost to the Patriots.
And by the way, Jared Goff got there too, so that worked
100%.
as well.
Jared Goff got him to the Super Bowl as well. Jalen Ramsey actually won the Super Bowl. All those
Since they left St. Louis and went to L.A., they've done everything right.
Yeah, and
everything
even
right.
cut Todd Gurley when it looked like Todd Gurley still was.
Yeah, he
like,
disappeared.
And they saw that firsthand.
Interesting. What else you got, Mass?
All right. Well, good. We didn't get the Bears. The Bears got themselves Braylon's favorite receiver. I know we touched on it a little bit, but Keenan Allen is now a Chicago Bear, and they got him for what, a 4th-round pick?
Yeah, they got him for a 4th-round pick. Look, let's start here. Let's start with the cat in the bag. Let's start with the elephant in the room. He gets injured. Keenan Allen never finishes the season, so it's definitely a risky move to go after a guy like this. But if you're getting him, Mass, for a 4th-round pick when he's on the field, I had him in fantasy this past year. He was unstoppable for the Chargers.
He torched the Lions for 200 yards.
Like the first 9 games of the season, like he was averaging $130. Like he and A.J. Brown were swapping 200-yard games. He was killing it, and then Puka Nacua. So that's the type of receiver you're getting. He's a bona fide stud at the 1. Oh, by the way, on the other side, number 2, who's a number 1, DJ Moore.
Yep.
You got 2 number 1s. I don't care if Drake May's the quarterback. When you start off Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet, DJ Moore, you put DeAndre Swift in the backfield, you're looking pretty good.
Let me ask you guys a question.
He did not want to take a pay cut. That's why he got traded.
Do you know who the all-time leading receiver is for the Chicago Bears?
I do.
Who?
Muhsin Muhammad or is Marty Booker? You talking about the season?
It's Johnny Morris in 1958.
I thought it was season.
Second all-time leading receiver Harlan Hill in 1954.
I'm done guessing.
Number 3, finally a name that you remember, Alshon Jeffrey, 4,500 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown has 4,500 yards already in his career.
This is true.
Wow.
Do you know who the number 4 all-time leading receiver for the Chicago Bears is?
Willie Gault?
Walter Payton.
3,000 yards.
The running back.
Wow.
Mike Ditka at 5.
Brandon Jennings is coming. I mean, Brandon.
Curtis Conway is number 6.
Oh.
What's Brandon at? Brandon Marshall.
Brandon Marshall is 13.
Okay.
He got $2,000.
Matt Forte, another running back, is number 7.
He was really good.
Then you have Willie
You made
Gault.
your point.
That's my point.
Yeah.
So like Keenan Allen instantly comes over and is the best receiver ever to wear a Chicago Bears uniform. Period.
Yeah, not 100%. I agree. I mean,
That's good stuff.
Brandon Marshall had some good years. Alshon Jeffries, I never really liked, although he had a hell of a Super Bowl against the Patriots. But Keenan Allen can do some damage, man. DJ Moore, he had 200 yards a couple times last year. It's going to be fun to watch, especially if they get an offensive lineman. That's where I think they got to make a move. They need to draft the O-lineman.
Wow.
The Chiefs got another receiver, another guy you like, Hollywood Brown, Marquise Hollywood Brown, leaves Arizona, and he goes to sign a 1-year deal with the Kansas City Chiefs. He goes with Rashee Rice on one side, and he goes on the other side.
All right, I got to crack a joke before I say this is a good move. He fits 100% because he drops a lot of passes too.
He's got feet for hands.
Yeah, he drops a lot of passes. Like
bricks.
I didn't see. He had no drops at Oklahoma. He gets to Baltimore, and all of a sudden he can't catch. With that said, when he does catch the ball, he's a 4-3 guy. He's electric. He makes big plays. He has a flair for the big play. This could be a great pick for Patrick Mahomes. I know one thing. For Marquise Brown, I'm paying with Patrick Mahomes. I'm on the jugs machine every day this summer. I'm not dropping anything because moves like this, they get you paid. Who did the Chiefs get paid 2 years ago? Juju Smith-Schuster.
Right.
His career was going like this. Had a good year. They won the Super Bowl. New England paid him. It's a hell of a move. Marquise Brown, don't mess it up.
And Juju is like nowhere.
He didn't have a catch last
He's
year.
nowhere.
Terrible.
What?
I got more for you. Want me to keep going?
Please.
The Commanders made another trade. The Commanders have redid their entire franchise. They're going to be they're going to be much better.
Can I ask a question?
I like Sam Howell, and he goes to the Seahawks.
Never
I
mind,
like
go ahead.
Sam Howell.
What do you like about Sam Howell?
I like a lot about him. I like he's got guts. I like that he was the most sacked quarterback last year. The guy still throws for 400 yards on several games.
Guts doesn't win you games. Guts gets you effed up. Guts gets you extra hits. Guts gets you a situation where you can't be counted on. Josh Allen had guts, and what happened? He got him messed up. He's out here running. He's getting hurt.
I know.
Had to get behind the quarterback a little bit. Guts are an amazing thing, but you got to put some talent with it. You got to put some skill with it. And once you do that, yeah, you're cool. Sam Howell, I love the energy. I love the effort.
Pete, put up Washington's draft picks, what they've got coming. They are redoing their entire squad. They picked number 2.
Yep.
They're going to get probably Jaden Daniels, the Heisman Trophy winner. They are look at all the picks that they have coming. It's like the Lions the past 2 years.
First round, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and then they got 2 in the fifth and 1 in the sixth. Yeah,
that's remaking your franchise.
So here's the thing with that, though. I don't care about the number of picks. I care about who is actually making the picks.
Right.
And the reason why the Lions are so successful is, yes, they had the picks, but because of the guy who was actually making the picks. The guy who was making the picks, by the way, got crucified by the national media and even some locally here because he's taking players. Well, you can't take Jahmyr Gibbs that high.
Right.
You can't take Jack Campbell that high. What are you doing taking another tight end? You had 3 very productive tight ends the year before after trading T.J. Hawkinson. Brian Branch, I think a lot of people like that pick, but it worked out for him. So
Washington has they have new people.
I understand that people get hired new all the time. Time will tell.
6 picks in the top 100.
Yeah,
we'll
no
see
doubt.
how it goes.
We'll see how it goes.
All right, let's get more here. Commanders signed Bobby Wagner. So he gets 1 year, $8.5 million. So he kind of got paid a little bit there, right?
He got paid, but I mean, he's making at one point he's making $20 million a year. He's still a really good player. And when you get guys like Bobby at this stage in his career, it's because he's a leader. It's because he'll show you how to work. It's because he'll show you how to do things the right way. And then also he has that Super Bowl winning experience. He won once and they lost once. He's been in 2 Super Bowls. So a guy like that really enhances the locker room. Magic Johnson and Josh Harris, they're trying to do it right. They're trying to build a team. They're trying to build an identity, much like the Lions have done here. So this is a good pickup in that regard, in that sense. He's not going to go out there and have 190 tackles, but he will.
He's a leader.
He will help you build your locker room the right way. Yeah.
Eric Armstead, we were hoping that he was going to come here because we want to get everybody.
That was a pipe dream, wasn't it?
3 years, $51 million. He goes to Jacksonville, who is spending some money, man. They gave $90 million to they lost Calvin Ridley.
They lost Calvin
My
Ridley.
bad. But $51 million for Eric Armstead to Jacksonville.
It'd be interesting to see how this plays out. Look, the system that they're running right now, it just doesn't work for Trayvon Walker. Trayvon Walker, number 1 pick in the draft when Aiden Hutchinson was drafted second. Haven't heard his name. He can't get to the quarterback. He can't even make plays. I think they're adding Eric Armstead to help him out because they still got Josh Allen down there. Josh Allen is a monster on that defensive line. So they're trying to beef the lineup. You beef the lineup. You give yourself a couple more possessions. They're trying to get Trevor Lawrence more possessions.
I think the Falcons got better, too.
I'm glad
they got Rondell White, Rondell Moore from the Cardinals.
I like him.
For Desmond
Purdue
Ritter.
Guy, right? Purdue guy?
Yep. For Desmond Ritter.
I like Rondell Moore, and I'm curious about the Falcons because I don't think I've ever really paid too much attention to the Atlanta Falcons. They've been a team
since Mike Vick.
Yeah, they've been a team that's pretty much been insignificant in the NFL. I think over the years since Mike Vick
they lost the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. Matt Ryan. See,
just a few years ago.
It's just a few years ago, but after that Super Bowl, was that 2017? It's been about 7 years. They've kind of been an also-ran in the league.
Yeah.
The acquisition of Kirk Cousins, it doesn't really scare me. I don't know why I'm so like. Atlanta is totally still insignificant to me.
Saquon, they got a pretty good running back in Bijan Robinson, 2 good receivers, and a tight end.
I was just about to say, like, they don't scare me,
You're right.
but at the same time, they definitely got better. Like, already, look, I'm very leery of the move of Kirk Cousins. I told you why. He's 36 when the season started. He just tore his Achilles, and you're bringing him down to a turf field. That bothers me. But let's say everything goes peachy-dory. I hope it does. Kirk Cousins is a guy that's going to know how to get the ball to the wide receivers. Now you give them Rondell Moore. Now they can help Drake London. Oh, my God, I forgot. They got Evan Pitts, a tight end that had 1,000 yards as a rookie. Maybe he wakes up, and then you have Bijan Robinson, a guy you want to ride, and you mix him with Taylor Algiers. They got a nice team down there.
Drake London?
They
already
do.
He's the best quarterback in the division.
Baker Mayfield might have something to say about that. I mean, you paid Baker Mayfield $100
Kirk
million
Cousins'
not
numbers
to finish.
over the years are better than
Absolutely,
Baker
I know.
Yeah.
Well, you're right about that. But Baker Mayfield, they paid $100 million not to finish second. You know what I mean?
You're not lying.
So that's going to be a competitive division, but it's been a competitive division over the last couple of years. But competitive means 8-9.
Yeah.
9-8.
Who they got? Raheem Morris as a coach?
Talking about
Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Raheem Morris is their coach, brand new. So he's got a first year, took over for Arthur Smith. I think he's got a pretty good start. Now, can I keep talking about Kirk Cousins or
Sure.
not yet?
Please.
Or you want to break?
No, go ahead.
Kirk Cousins.
I don't care. We can do whatever we want.
How about you, Bray? You okay with that or no?
Yeah, I'm good. Let's keep going.
Okay. Kirk Cousins said goodbye to Minnesota the other day. You know the classy guy that he is?
Yeah.
He did it classy.
So today's a bit of a bittersweet day for me. I'm in Atlanta now, and a little later today I'm going to be signing a contract with the Falcons to officialize the agreement we've made. But that also means that I've got to say goodbye to Minnesota and to the Minnesota Vikings, and that's what makes today tough. And so just wanted to put out a little video to say thank you. First of all, thank you to the tremendous teammates, coaches, support staff, management, and ownership of the Minnesota Vikings for the way that they have come alongside me and supported me. Quarterback really doesn't have a chance without great people around him. And for 6 seasons in Minnesota, I had great people around me. And I don't take that for granted. It was a privilege to quarterback the Minnesota Vikings, and a privilege that brought much responsibility. And so I wanted to be accountable to all those people who work for the Vikings and put in the work that was needed to deliver for them. And so I'm very grateful for who they are, for what they represented, and the difference they made for me and my family. And then I'd also just like to say thank you to the people of Minnesota, the people of the Twin Cities, and the people who we did life with on a daily basis around our great state of Minnesota. I just want to say thank you. You meant so much to my family. And as a result of your impact, Minnesota will always hold a special place in the hearts of me and of my family. So thank you, and God bless.
Look, I got nothing but positive things to say about Kirk Cousins. He had a hell of a career. I mean, he's the biggest fleece in NFL history. He and his agent have been heisting from the NFL for years, but I'm not mad at him. You got to get what you can get. You can't look at that video and tell me that without even knowing what school he went to. Like, if I just asked you, look, he went to a Big Ten
How
school.
would have said he went to Notre Dame?
Michigan State, 1,000%.
That's Michigan State green.
All white. He's got the whip. He's got the little whip like Michigan State quarterbacks. Like, he's Michigan State all day long. He didn't go to any other school. I was looking at the video like, he's Michigan State.
He's got that green wall. Did you see that beautiful green wall behind
I was trying to ignore the wall.
He is an oh golly gee kind of guy, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, he's
Wisconsin?
I probably saw him on the Andy Griffith Show, back in the late 50s,
Opie.
early 60s. He's Opie. Hey, continuing this,
He can play, though.
Kirk Cousins spoke to the Atlanta media after that, and
This
he
is
has
Kirk
a little.
Cousins Day, I see.
Kyle Pitts has number 8. Well, he wants number 8, so he had a little thing going with Kyle Pitts, and the NFL's kind of looking into this for tampering charges, believe it or not. But give a listen.
I said, if it's a number you want to pivot from, great, you let me know. I obviously have worn number 8 since high school. If it's a number you'd like to keep, great, no problem. I can find another. You hear it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it was okay.
It's all good now. Just tell you.
What did he say, Maz? I couldn't hear it.
He had a little thing going with Kyle Pitts. He says, look, I don't want to take the number for nothing. Kyle Pitts said, look, I don't want anything for it. Just target me. Throw me the damn ball.
Right.
Because Kyle Pitts is supposed to be this unicorn, and we don't really hear about him. In 3 years, we've heard nothing about him. I know he had 1,000 yards the first year, quietly.
Number 4 pick overall
Number
at
4,
one point.
unicorn.
Right? Weapon.
So he's like, send me the ball. Give me the ball. Kirk's like, look, I'll make a donation to your charity, blah, blah, blah. So it comes down to now the NFL thinks that Kirk was talking to the Atlanta training staff prior to signing, that signing date, because Saquon Barkley and the Eagles supposedly broke a rule as well. They're looking into the Eagles and Barkley, and they're looking into the tampering with Atlanta and Kirk Cousins.
Listen to this, NFL. Y'all need to back up.
I
Man.
know.
You guys are doing way too much. Like tampering, really, because guys were talking about numbers. Knock it the hell off. Side note, going back to the number swap thing, that's how it happens in the league. You get to a team, you got to pay to get that number. I had to pay to get 17 when I got to the Jets. I mean, the guy gave it to me, but I'd put a little cash in his pocket. But the
you give him like $1,500.
Yeah, true. I gave him $2,300. Which is
Where'd you come up with that number?
I was because I had it in cash. I was like, look, because I literally just got to Cleveland. got to New York. I had $2,300.
It's like a scene out of Breaking Bad.
Like, hey.
Oh my god!
But anyway, the crazy thing, it's funny. Kirk Cousins is smart. Notice he won't just take the jersey for free. Because then he has to target Evan Ingram, and that's not what he's about. He's like, look, I make a donation, I'll do this, I'll give you that. Kirk Cousins is smart. He's been here before.
Yeah.
Because if he just takes it for free, he's going to be expecting the ball Evan Ingram is.
Kyle Pitts,
excuse me.
For the life of me, I don't remember the player. I don't remember the
buying
player.
situation?
What's the story? Maybe I can figure it out.
I'm in the Pistons locker room, and it was a Pistons player. It was a younger player, and
was he talking to Rick Mahorn?
No. The player, we're in the locker room, and the player says, "Hey, Rip, you got any change?" And mind you, at the time I had like $20 in my bank account. Like I'm like putting quarters together to I
already know this is great.
Like putting quarters together to get home from the palace. You know what I mean? Like for gas. He's like, "Hey, Rip, you got any change?" And what do you need? $5,000. and Rip pulls out a stack. And it's just like,
wow.
Like it was nothing. And it wasn't even like,
wow.
It was nothing.
Is that like me borrowing $5 from you? Or a buck?
Yeah.
A buck.
I mean, it was like nothing. And this is like.
That's great.
2005, I think. 2004, 2005.
That era was a big cash era.
And it was like nothing.
Cash money.
The way the dude just pulled out, and actually he was wearing a towel and grabbed his pants, and he's holding his pants like this. Dips his hand into the pocket and just pulls out this wad of cash. And mind you, it's like a 20, so I was about 24, 25 at the time. Like I said, I'm scraping quarters together to get home from the Palace 45 minutes.
I still am.
And just to see that amount of cash so nonchalantly being pulled out and like given to somebody, and not like I'll pay you back or like anything like that was remarkable.
What do you think the kid needed the 5Gs for?
And I can't remember who it was.
Like that's what I was about to say.
I can't remember who it was.
In that era, two things about the era that
You're
are
right.
funny. One, it was big cash era. Like even like clubs, everybody carried a lot of money. I got drafted in 05. We would just walk around with 5,000, 3,200.
What was the most you ever had in your pocket at once? Cash money.
300K.
Oh my God.
300K. I was out.
300K in cash.
Yeah, I was.
Where the hell you putting it?
I was out in Vegas, man. I had a bag. I had a book bag. Carried on my Louis Vuitton book bag.
God.
But like it was a big cash era. Like, and the other thing that's funny about that story, the fact that he had in his pockets also lets me know it was 05, because that's when we still were wearing baggy jeans.
Yep.
Still wearing the clothes real big white T-shirts. That's all Rip wore was a big cash jeans. So the fact that he could pull 5,000 out, that's the era with the baggy jeans.
Okay. Where do you go with 300,000?
I mean, I'm in Vegas. I'm young. Like I got 300K in me.
You spent $50,000 at the bar, and the bottle service, table service.
Yeah, and then you partying.
You're gonna spend $50,000. Then you got another $15,000 for the women.
Not to mention gambling too. Like
right.
Yeah.
Table service, $50,000.
I mean, you're in Vegas. You're an NFL player.
Over the course of 3-4 days. Like shoot, depending on what party you go to, like 20K.
Honestly,
20K
I've taken so many wrong turns in my life. I really have. I mean, I got no shot in hell to ever do it. I can't. As my dad would say, I can't change a quarter. I can't change a quarter.
Oh my God!
God bless you,
it's
Brian.
So funny.
God bless you.
Good job, Bray.
I know Mike in the box is probably walking around with 300K in his box.
I don't think I don't even want to put a name out there as the person who it was nobody it was like a Smush Parker type guy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like
Mike Davis.
Yeah, not a younger guy. Like it wasn't like
what was it? Oflalo?
Yeah.
Like
Aaron
Oflalo. He's out of UCLA, I think.
Oh my God.
Aaron Oflalo.
How much do you think Iverson walked around with when he was at the casinos?
Probably
I know he left a lot there though.
Probably about 300K, 200K, 300K, 400K.
Never forget the Fiverson plan.
But AI wouldn't pay a lot though. Like AI would lose money, but then put his business out.
Steven brings up a great point. Steven says Maz is out here trying to win 100 in bowling. Maz,
okay. You're right, Steven. I'm like, when they're ready. Okay, here's the first mystery game worth $225.
Did you get any mystery balls?
The mystery ball. They're pulling out the number 223.
You did not have 222.
I had 225.
Get out of here.
So there goes that. Next game, guy pulls out like 279. No one had it. By the way, someone threw a 300 against us again.
Did you guys beat them though?
No.
Ah.
We lost last night.
Dang.
So they pull out 3 different numbers. I didn't have it. And then a 169 game wound up winning the second game, which was, we all boo when a 169 wins.
Yeah.
160 game. But I won nothing. I went home with the $5 left out of my 100.
Oh, my God. You got $5
I got a 5 in my pocket right now. I gave it to Birmingham Rose Sam to give us the waters. I got $3 back, so I gave $2 for the waters.
You should have went in with Pete, man, on the Purdue Michigan State.
I should have. I should have invested like $20,000 to win 1,000.
We'll take a break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll come back with more next.
Busted.
But first, a message from Braylon Edwards.
It's the 50K challenge. We're sitting here talking about the tournaments. We're talking about
welcome to North Bergen High School Radio.
I give up.
Here you go. Look, it's the 50K challenge. Woodward Sports, Soroki's, and Glorious is the ones to sponsor. All you gotta do is scan the QR code up there right now, and you know what happens? Gets you registered to win $50,000 this year in the tournament. I don't know about you, but I'm trying to win that 50K. But I can't. But you can. Scan that QR code now. Woodward Sports Bracket Challenge.
And what happens when you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house? It tells the bad guys, and especially Maz, one thing.
Stay out!
That's right. It's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring, and technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work, and by people who are proven to care. Call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today and tell them Woodward Sports sent ya.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
What's better than crispy chicken and pizza while watching your favorite team play? I'll tell you, nothing. Nothing is better than that. Let me tell you about Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. The food is amazing, and their locations are popping up all over. Canton, Farmington Hills, Hazard, Romulus, Royal Oak, South Line, Sterling Heights, you name it, they got Soroki's probably right next to you. A perfect takeout option featuring the hand-breaded chicken. Check out their full menu at sarokis.com. That's sarokis.com. Soroki's and Woodward Sports. That's crispy.
No doubt about it. Hey now, welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Maswell. We got Mad Mike in the audio booth. We got Pistol Pete in the TD booth. That's right. Say hi to everybody, Mike. Mike, say hi to everybody. Hello, that's what's up. Say hi to Mike over there.
Words.
Absolutely. Tom Maswell, we'll head back to you for the NFL.
All right, guys, I got a couple more for you before we move on. How about Arizona signing an offensive tackle? Jonah Williams. Listen to the numbers. 2 years, $30 million.
Oh, wow.
2 years, $30 million. What do you think the Lions are going to have to pay for their guys if this guy's getting 30?
I mean, Jonah got 17.
Well, he got $15 million. He
right,
got $15 million.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, he's a really good player. I mean, shoot, Jonah Jackson got $17 million. That's just the going rate right now for offensive linemen. You got to realize all they're doing in the league now is what? Throwing the ball. Everybody's trying to get the race to 5,000, or in Ryan's case, the race to 6,000. Still, I'll never think that's going to happen. But in order to get those quarterbacks past 5,000, 4,800, those 30 touchdowns and 35, you got to be able to block. Guys are showing up that offensive line because this is a passing NFL. It's a passing league.
Laramie Tunsil makes the most money per year on average in the NFL. No agent, $25 million a year. So $25 million, highest paid offensive lineman in the NFL. Penei Sewell will get more than that.
Does he pay tax?
100%.
Does he pay tax? He was with Miami and now Houston. No tax, right?
Nope, no Florida, no Texas.
Oh, look at that. That's a smart man.
Mm-hmm.
They got luxury tax, but they don't have state tax.
Nope, no state tax.
Ouch.
Hey, Devontae Parker, you guys remember him?
I do.
He's been with New England, so you don't really hear about him. He left. He got out of there, signed with Philadelphia. 1 year, almost $5 million. But New England is paying most of that freight. They're paying like $4 million of that $5 million. So Devontae Parker, you might hear his name now as he's with the Philadelphia Eagles.
I love it when there's players out there, and Moneyball was on the other night. I was watching.
I watched it again.
Yeah, it's such a good movie, and I'm always reminded of the Billy Bean conversation with David Justice.
Yep.
I'm not paying you $8 million. The New York Yankees are paying you $6 million not to play for them. And I just think that's that's the biggest insult, I think, in professional
sports.
sports.
Put it to reality.
I am going to pay you millions of dollars to not be a part of our team.
Yep.
I think as a player that has to be the biggest degrading insult that you could possibly be faced with.
I was never in that situation, but I feel like it would just be super humbling. I think it would be a humbling situation if you're this guy that for whatever reason you weren't good or you were an a-hole or you were a bad teammate. They're paying you to go somewhere else and someone else knows and they treat you that way. You come in the locker room, you got to have your head down. There's no way you can just walk in that locker room and feel like you're the you-know-what. You're not. They're paying you all. It's like Kenny Galladay. It's like, look, man, get out of here. We'll just pay.
There you go.
We'll pay $21 million in dead cat money because you're just not that good.
Right.
Like that has to be humbling, and it has to be a reset if you still have time in your career.
Hey, after day one and day two of free agency, NFL Network, I watch it a lot. One of my favorites is Cynthia Freeland. She was a friend of the show. We had her on when the Lions were in the playoffs. I got to meet her. She knows her stuff probably better than anybody on television. Anyway, she goes on and she talks about the winners for her sake from day one and day two. Stay tuned. You might hear your team.
Pretty good. You like the Texans. Let's start with them first.
The Texans have had a great free agency start. I'm looking at their opportunity there on their defense, which we know their coach is excellent at coaching. But I'm looking at Danielle Hunter, who replaces Jonathan Grenard. Maybe it's not 1-for-1, but it is still a replacement in terms of that production. It's going to be really interesting to see how he fits in, which, by the way, I think is going to be very, very good, with a bunch of other ads that they had. Danico Autry, Foley Fatukasi, Lonnie Johnson Jr., Jeff Okuda, and Mike Ford. Like, this is a huge haul for them. Nick Caserio, congratulations. You've gotten yourself a huge haul. And by the way, trading for running back Joe Mixon, also a great one. And then getting a punter. Who doesn't love getting a good punter? And Dalton Schultz is back. This has been a great start to free agency for the Texans.
So much for a great start to a great start that continues from last year. I'm peeking back at that Lions helmet, a source of pride last season, Cynthia. You also like what they've done thus far in free agency? That's the one.
Oh, wait, you have to see. It has a signature on it from, one Barry Sanders. Just saying, that it's a big deal for me. But look, Carlton Davis. I asked the Lions to go out and get a cornerback, and you know what? They delivered. They delivered a guy who played there last, Ford Field, when they were getting defeated as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. But I also think that trade, along with Amik Robertson in free agency, both of those corners are going to be nice additions. That defense ranked 30th in yards per play last season. That's not good. There's only 32 teams. Outside, slot cornerback, plus another pass rusher, Marcus Davenport. There's a lot of good things. And my goodness, I love when I'm happy about what the Lions are doing. And they got Frank back. Graham Glasgow, Frank Ragnow's healthy. Like, it's going to be good on the O-line.
All right.
It's pretty interesting, and I love what she said, and I'll tell you, if you're an NFL analyst right now, ESPN, NFL Network, Fox, CBS, wherever, whatever the Lions do, just say it's good. Mm-hmm. Because you're going to look like a fool if you don't. Whether it's the draft, whether it's free agency, whether it's hiring the coach. Because remember when the coach got hired, it didn't look like such a good thing nationally. Remember when Brad Holmes got hired after Dan Campbell? Oh, this organization doesn't know what they're doing. How do you hire the head coach before the general manager? It's not like they hired Bill Parcells first and then hired general manager. They hired a first-year head coach, a tight ends coach, and then they hired. It's never going to work. Then you see Brad Holmes and what he can do in the draft. 4th round, 1st round, doesn't matter. 2nd round, 7th round, they're getting guys. Whatever the Lions do, if you say it's good, you'll look like a genius.
Oh, by the way, they go for it a lot on fourth down. How's that
Right.
working out for them, too, with the exception of the last game? That works for them. Whatever they're doing, it seems to be working. And also, it's every draft pick. Every draft pick almost that Brad Holmes has made has been scrutinized when it was made. Whether it was Penei Sewell, scrutinized. Whether it was Jamison Williams, still maybe scrutinized. Whether it was Jahmyr Gibbs, whether it was insert pick, they've all been scrutinized, but yet and still, fourth down and 2, best rate in the league. The draft picks definitely seem to have worked out for them. And then biting the kneecaps. Well, they won the division and they got to the NFC Championship last year. So you're right about that, Ryan.
I got a couple more items for you
Please.
with free agency. Who got better? Let's go to the AFC North first. These are some grades for the AFC North. Free agent winners from Pro Football Focus. Those
are the A's.
Those are the what? Yeah, those are the A's. What I'm looking for, Pete, is the
it
North
is.
and
Right there.
the East.
It's right there.
AFC North. There you go. Now you can see the players that were added to each squad. I think the Steelers, out of that four teams, I think the Steelers got better. And now they add, of course, on top of it, you got a quarterback in Russell Wilson.
I'm going with the Browns.
I'm going with the Ravens.
So each one of us took a different team.
I'm going with the Ravens, man. Look, they were the number 1 seed in the AFC last year and added Derrick Henry.
Yeah, but what do you get?
The reason why I'm not doing that is because they were the number 1 rush team in the NFL
Correct.
last year, and it still didn't matter.
They didn't run.
The quarterback was the rusher. I think you are now having the ability to take a lot of the pressure off the run game portion of Lamar Jackson.
Todd Monken kept Lamar Jackson in the pocket the majority of last year. He actually was more of a pocket passer last year than he ever really has been. I agree with Matt. Like, you had a Derrick Henry, you already were the number 1 rush offense. I think Naeem Hicks and Jerry Jeudy. I think Jerry Jeudy adds to Amari Cooper, who you saw when he was healthy. Amari Cooper had another guy with 200 yards a year. He had 200 in the first half.
And he was really banged up. He was banged up, and he still went out
that
there.
was nuts.
Fair enough.
Remember, I didn't play him?
Lamar Jackson was the leading rusher last year.
Yeah, he was.
You know what I mean?
And they didn't let him run in the playoff game.
Right.
Todd Monken said,
Right.
throw the ball.
And
that didn't work out. How about the AFC East teams, Pete? Let's put those guys up. AFC East. Who got better here of these 4 clowns?
Oh, not Buffalo.
Yeah. I saw Mitchell Trubisky instantly turned out. Probably the Dolphins.
I'd say the Jets.
I like those Jets.
You know, probably the Jets.
I like those Jets.
I'd have to say the Jets.
Patriots got a couple good ones. Look, Jacoby
The
Brissett.
Dolphins look good too.
Yeah, because you got Shaq Barrett as well as Jordan
If you just want to
Poyer.
go on who got better, you'd have to say the Patriots because
They're
they're
horrible.
starting from 0.
Yeah.
So you're starting from a terrible spot.
Shaq Barrett and Jordan Poyer are 2 All-Pros.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty good by the Dolphins.
Pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
Guys, you got any more NFL?
Yeah, I do.
All right, good.
Pete, let's go with dynamite defensive duos next. This is also from the 33rd team, of course, on Twitter or on X, as you call it. These dominant defensive duos, not too shabby.
Where is
Aiden and
Reader?
DJ Reader?
DJ Reader.
And Aiden Hutchinson?
This was done prior to them.
Okay.
This was done prior.
Ooh, that Giants looks dangerous.
Max
sure does.
Crosby,
Raiders
Christian
looks
Wilkins
great.
to me is that's the one.
I agree.
The Raiders.
Bryce Huff's a nice addition, but
Remember,
I agree with you.
Ari Mayroff said Huff from way back?
He did.
Yes.
He's like, the Lions should go after this guy, Bryce Huff.
Yep.
100%.
And when he went off the board, I was like, man.
Damn.
But I guess they know what they're doing. So.
Patrick Queen, TJ Watt right there. That's another guy. All those look good. All those duos really look good. They're really going to play a factor in this season.
I got a Jim Harbaugh for you, and his
Please.
brother
Harbaugh is good.
his brother John Harbaugh. The 2 Harbaughs got together. San Diego. I mean, the Chargers are putting out all kinds of tweets with these 2 guys. I mean, they are just playing.
They're like promoting.
They're
another
playing
coach.
the Harbaugh card really
Big
hard.
time, big league.
Here's the Harbaugh brothers on their Harbaugh-isms.
You didn't say that.
I said
you
it.
did not
I
say
was the one
that.
No,
Who said
you
it,
said
Dad?
it.
Dad said it.
Dad said it.
He repeated it.
Can't remember what I'm talking about.
Yeah, give it to me. Give it to me. There's so many good ones. You got amazing ones.
Was your dad the one who came up with who's got it better than us?
Yes, of course, absolutely. Yeah. Well, things weren't that great. No, we didn't have it that great, but we did.
First time I remember it was Iowa City, Iowa. We didn't have a car, and we had a dealer car
For some reason, that car wasn't there. Dad was taking us to school that day. You know, it just ran out.
I think it lived a long life.
It lived a good life.
Life was ended.
But that's what he would say. He would like drop us off at school. First time I heard it was, okay, boys, grab your lunch boxes and go attack this day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. And don't take any wooden nickels. Okay, get going. And out the door we go. And that became like a daily thing.
I mean, to me, like, what is an enthusiasm unknown to mankind? Like, I don't know if we ever really thought about it too much, but you start thinking about it. It's unknown to mankind.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a human thing. It's beyond that. It's another realm. It's a spiritual thing.
That's something I got.
Let's play ball.
You know, one of the things with Jim Harbaugh, I feel like there's a couple of different versions of Jim Harbaugh. That Jim Harbaugh I want to be friends with. Just this goofball, kind of cornball kind of guy. That's my kind of guy. When you see him in these interviews, like after games or on the Monday of game week,
he's awkward.
when he's like,
Yeah.
you know, no.
He could turn it on.
Right.
He turns it off and on. Playing for him with the 49ers in 2011, like he was like this sometimes, and a lot of times he was the other guy. And a lot of times he was a more stern dude, but they don't always feel like they had the best relationship. Like I never saw them together before this last 2-year run in Michigan. I'm not trying to start any BS, but like
who? John?
The Harbaughs.
Oh.
Like
well,
John
Jack
and
was
Jim.
always around.
I'm not talking Jack. I'm talking about the brothers, John and Jim. Like even when they played against each other, like it was like, hey, how you doing? All right, cool. Like now they're like best friends.
Right.
Like,
and they got to face each other now in the same conference.
Yeah, AFC.
Interesting.
The Chargers roster, I took a quick look at it. They're on offense. They're horrible.
Abysmal.
They're abysmal right now. I don't know what the hell they're going to do. Well,
they
told him you got time, I guess.
Yeah, they're going to draft Blake Corum. So they're going to get their running back. And they're going to probably draft a wide receiver.
Or, bro, what do they pick? They're like
fifth.
Yeah.
They might get Marvin Harrison by a freak.
And they're going to get Brock Bowers.
No, he ain't getting past the Cardinals.
Offensive tackle, maybe. You know, he's going to build up his offensive line.
I predicted Brock Bowers from day one to the Chargers.
Yeah, maybe.
You did. I like Brock Bowers a lot.
All right, guys. One more break. We'll come back. Wings, Pistons, Tigers. We'll do it next. But first, a message from Premier Pet Supply.
All right. Jeter's favorite place. That's right. It's Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. Hands down, Michigan's best pet store. Family-owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations. Over 60 brands of food. The lowest prices available. Curbside delivery if you need it. And nutritionists on site, on call if you need to have any questions answered about your pet. Give your pet the best. Do not settle for less. It's PremierPetSupply.com.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
100%. $10 a month is all it costs to work out at Planet Fitness today. You see guys getting in shape. You know why? It's because spring's coming up. You want to look good for the girls in spring? Go to Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. Also, the gym is squeaky clean. I'm talking squeaky. So I like to always work out at a clean gym. And then last but not least, it's a judgment-free zone. It's a place where you can go work out at your own pace, do your own thing. Nobody's bothering you. Nobody's rushing you. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Dude, did you see they were getting booed last night? The Detroit Red Wings booed off the ice.
Priority was
getting
getting booed.
Shocked about that. Well, the priority sucks chance. Priority sucks. Priority sucks. I saw that online last night. They have not won a game, Tom Mazway, the Detroit Red Wings.
Detroit, they got dominated last night by the Coyotes, who swept them in the back-to-back. Well, they played them last week at Arizona, this week here. They got beat up, man. 4-1. They were never really in this game. They were down 1-0 like a minute in. They never really recovered. They did tie it, but it was over.
How are they so bad?
I don't know. I don't know.
Maz looks like Jesus in the back. He's like a big guy in the background. This is what I'm thinking about the Detroit Red Wings. One, Dylan Larkin being gone. The big thing that we said about the team was depth. They had depth. All their lines could play. But what happened to that? What happened to the effort? What happened to the passion, man? This team just doesn't play with any passion. And you need to start getting mad. Guys like Evander Kane, guys like DeBrincat, guys that we bought in to help us turn our corner, and you're not turning the corner. I'm going to tell you like this, and this is what Dylan Larkin, I'm going to tell you, Ryan, you tell me if you agree with this. If they don't make the playoffs this year, Steve Yzerman next season's on the hot seat. We can keep going around and around about what he had to clean up first and the Yzer plan and how slowly it's progressing.
Don't tell Darren that.
They don't. No, I can tell Darren that because he's the same guy getting mad at these players too. They didn't make a move at the free agent deadline. They said I don't think we need a player here. Well, BS. That's what it's looking like. So if they don't win, Ryan, I think Stevie Y is on the hot seat next season.
Wow.
I don't know about hot seat, but certainly would absolutely need to maybe make the playoffs and win a series next year or something. I mean, we'll see. I think they're going to make it this year. I do think they'll right the ship. I think water always finds its level. They won 6 in a row. Then they lost 7 in a row. They'll get back in it here. A couple of games to go in this. What do they got? How many games
left? They got the
14?
Sabres tomorrow at home.
I'm just talking games. What do they got left? They got 63, about 19 games left.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sabres are here tomorrow. Sabres beat them last week in Buffalo.
Just need to get off the schneid.
That's the longest losing streak in over 5 years for this team. So they're just not gelling right now. I thought, thank God I don't really bet, because I would have bet them last night.
Right.
And I didn't.
Remember you asked me?
Yeah.
I said I'm not feeling it.
I don't feel it either.
I'll only give a pick if I really have conviction about it. Just like the Pistons the other night.
Well, how about tonight? Pistons have won 3 or 4.
I don't
They
know.
host the Heat in back-to-back games. Heat tonight, Heat Sunday, and that's the 2004 celebration for the back-to-work Pistons.
They lose tonight, they win Sunday.
Did you know that they have not won 3 games in a row since March 3rd, 4th, and 7th of 2022? 2 full calendar years.
I thought you were going to say something even more crazy than that.
They have not won 3 games in a row in over 2 full calendar years.
They're a bad team.
They have a chance to do that tonight.
They're playing better.
Yeah, well, I'm just
They are playing better since the trade. And again, talk about, you're not going to get, you got to get rid of the general manager there too. I think you almost have, whatever. It's fine. Yeah. They're playing better. They feel like Michigan basketball to me, like the Pistons. Total apathetic. Total apathy.
I agree.
I don't even get, you can't even get mad. You know what I mean? They're
Michigan State lost today, guys. They're out. Purdue knocked them off. Purdue, the number 4 team coming in. Michigan State is regular season's over. 19-13 they finish at.
They'll be in, though.
They're a bubble team. They'll probably get in. Ken Palm's got him in I think he's got him in as a 9. So we'll see where they land. Tom Izzo, 27 straight appearances in March Madness. That's on the line.
I tell you what, Michigan State better hope they're 10. Because if they're 8 or 9, you know they play in the second round, a 1 seed.
Second round.
Well, I'm just saying if they make it through, they play a 1 seed. They don't want to be. You want to be 10. They better hope they're 10.
I talked to Neil Rule today. He's feeling that OU will be. Happy birthday to Neil Rule, by the way.
Oh, happy birthday!
Happy birthday
Neil
to the
Rule.
real
Absolutely.
deal. He is going on the road.
Absolutely.
With DCFC for tomorrow. They're going to be on Channel 50, by the way, if you want to watch them. But with Oakland U, he feels that they could be a 14 seed, maybe match up with a team like Kentucky. How would you like to play Kentucky?
I was telling Neil this privately, and I don't know these players at all, but if you can just see past the jersey on the front and realize that, you're probably older than any team you will play.
Yep.
You've been playing together longer than any team you will play.
Yeah.
And focus on that. If you could just not get down by 20 points in the first 10 minutes of the game, you'll have a shot to win that game.
Yeah,
Oakland U could be this year's St. Peter's.
I hope so. I told Neil that. I'd say I'm sensing peacock power. So good luck to Oakland U. Good luck to Michigan State. Selection Sunday is coming up this weekend. It's on St. Patty's Day. What are you guys doing for St. Patty's Day? Tigers won today.
It's my dad's birthday.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right, Mr. Ermanni.
Yeah. So probably
Congratulations.
go on lunch with him or something.
That's my sister Susan's birthday.
Look at
She will
that.
be 60 years young.
Well, I don't want to feel left out. It's my girlfriend's sister's birthday.
Well, there you
Brandy.
go. Your girlfriend-in-law.
This is
It's your girlfriend-in-law.
This is my sister-in-law.
Girlfriend-in-law, sister, cousin,
So
neighbors.
We'll be down in
brother.
Corktown.
Tigers won today. The
So they're
Tigers
12,
record, right?
12 and 7?
Yeah, they're 13-8.
Wow.
Matt Manning goes 4 strong, 1 hit. Their pitchers are playing excellent in the spring.
They better slow these wins
The
down.
defense isn't very
I want to
good,
win in the
but,
regular season.
Yeah, right. All right, gang. Hopefully everybody has a safe and happy St. Patrick's Day. Braylon, get us out of here.
Be careful out there,
Yeah,
kids.
Be careful out there.
There are a lot of idiots on Sunday. Make sure you're not one of them. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate you guys for showing us love and sticking with us. It's Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Appreciate my man Mike over there, Steve Spivak. We will see you guys on
Pete,
Monday.
Good job, Pete.
Thanks to Shake Shack. Welcome to Woodward.
Welcome to Woodward, Shake Shack.